This news update is brought to you by...
They ask us how we do it, how we outrun the world. They ask us, how does it feel to fly? How do we dive headfirst into the deep? And emerge victorious. They ask us if we're afraid, if we're nervous, or if we ever feel lonely, so far away from home. But the truth is, home is always right here with us. Get ready to witness the magic of the Olympic Games like never before.
It's Thursday, August the 11th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour. While the local gay and lesbian community is jumping for joy at a ruling yesterday by the Belize Supreme Court, which outlawed the age-old ban on homosexuality, some church leaders here and a member of the Frontal Stewart administration are not pleased. The Belize Supreme Court overturned the country's sodomy law, with Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin ruling that Section 53 of the Criminal Code, which criminalizes intercourse between consenting adults of the same sex, contravened the right granted by the Belize Constitution. Human rights activist and co-founder of the Barbados Gays and Lesbians Against Discrimination, Donya Pigott, describes the ruling as a wonderful and amazing feeling.
There are a whole host of implications when it comes to the buggery law. Condoms in prison, and you have better access in that regard. You have better access in the fight against HIV/AIDS, which affects the LGBT community specifically. So this law being struck down means more than just meets the eye. It really opens the door for people to be themselves. One, it says that you can live and your love is not illegal.
However, outspoken church leader Senator the Reverend David Comissiong says he is very disappointed at the Belize ruling.
That is very disappointing because we want to maintain a standard of righteousness and help to guide people in the correct manner. Now, the same-sex marriage and all of those things, the LGBT, that they're planning to introduce and trying to really force upon us. To me, this will give them the leeway, or give them more legal ground to work with. And it can spell a lot of trouble for Barbados, for families, for the church within this part of the Western Hemisphere.
And social activist David Comissiong's protest against the construction of a multi-million-dollar Hyatt hotel on Bay Street, the city, isn't getting support from some business people in the area. While Comissiong is warning that the Barbadians will be deprived of access to the popular Bronx Beach once the building goes up, the operators of businesses close to the site beg to differ. The 237-room Hyatt-centric Carlisle Bay will be situated on almost 3 acres of waterfront next to Liquidation Center and opposite Bethel Methodist Church. Manager of the popular boatyard, Sean Gill, is one of those corporate leaders singing the praises of the planned project.
I think the Hyatt Hotel would be very good for the island. It will bring some jobs, needed jobs, foreign exchange, and all in all, it would utilize the beach. I don't think it would take away from the beach. Right now, that part of the beach is overgrown with bush, so they would clean it, I'm sure, and bring more people around and help our business and help businesses around, and I think it would be good for the island.
The tears flowed freely yesterday as family and friends gathered at Mount Olive Church of America in Carrington Village, St. Michael, to bid farewell to Rosario Lashley, who was shot and killed by police on July the 26th. The uplifting sounds and fiery sermon delivered during the hour-long service sought to raise the spirits of the mourners at a time of sadness. Still, they wept, especially Lashley's immediate family members, who could not hold back the tears. Lashley's mother, Maxine, went through Barbados today. She had appealed to the third of her 4 children to turn himself into police after he went on the run on July the 9th. The 21-year-old Downs Gap Arthur Seat St. Thomas resident had been accused of shooting and wounding 35-year-old police officer Shane Newton of Foul Bay in St. Philip. In sports now, West Indies fast bowler Miguel Cummins says if his team sticks to its game plan, it is likely the Windies will win the current match against India, which enters its 3rd day today in St. Lucia, with Windies on 107 for 1. Cummins, who took 3 for 54 in India's first innings, or 353, said his role is to build the pressure.
We did a very good job getting the top order because the top order has very talented batsmen. But we stuck to our plans from the first 2 games, but you can't take anything away from Sahara and Ashwin. They batted very well. So we just had to keep fighting when they had that partnership.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only 225, 220. Who? For what? That's the bear stare news. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only care do. 220. Who?
Barbados Today. News you can trust.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In Trinidad and Tobago, a salary scandal at the state-owned petroleum oil company Petrotrin has the oil field workers trade union up in arms and calling for action. We pick up the story in this TV6 News report.
This Sunday Express investigative report says Petrotrin is seeking to recover millions of dollars in unauthorized salary increases that were awarded retroactively to people who held top jobs in the company. Now the OWTU is calling for action.
Full financial forensic audit into the entire financial operations of Petrotrin over the period 2010 to 2015.
It also wants the company to reassure workers that it's taking definitive steps to recover money that was paid out to people who weren't entitled to such payments. And the OWTU wants to stop extra pension allotment to persons where it's believed that they weren't entitled, at least until their names are cleared. According to union boss Roger, in the past, Petrotrin retirees asked for pension increases, and current workers asked for salary increases, but they were denied.
And on the international scene, the last doctors in the rebel-held east of the Syrian city of Aleppo have urged the U.S. President Barack Obama to come to the aid of the 250,000 civilians there. A letter signed by 29 physicians warns that if attacks on medical facilities continue at the present rate, there could be none left within a month. It calls on Obama to impose a no-fly zone over Aleppo to stop airstrikes.
Aleppo is living a real war. Fighter jets are all around. I can hear it very well. We can hear the war all around. There's heavy bombardment from the airstrikes. For a month, the regime, supported by Iranian and Russian forces, have imposed a complete siege on the inner city. They've cut off supply routes, left people completely stranded. We called out and pleaded for help from the outside world to please come and break the siege. Nothing happened.
That's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.